So on Tuesday, we were witness to a face-off between Tyrande Whisperwind and Sylvanas Windrunner. Whisperwind versus Windrunner. Tyrande versus Sylvanas. And let me just say, it was long overdue. After all, Tyrande's entire arc has been hunting the Banshee Queen ever since Teldrassil was ashed. On this journey, she took up the powers of the ancient Night Warrior, forsook the Alliance in its pursuit of peace, and gave Nathanos one of the most satisfying deaths we could have asked for.
Oh, Tyrande, High Priestess, Night Warrior. Completely powerless to stop the coming.
And she did all of this for Sylvanas. In a way, the Banshee Queen has become Tyrande's Arthas. She is willing to go, and has gone, the extra mile to get vengeance for Teldrassil. And this character arc that she's been going down all culminated in this duel. And so they fought. And it was really good. But their duel is not what we need to talk about. What we need to discuss is its conclusion. Because to many, it was, or maybe felt, unsatisfying. And it was for good reason. Tyrande was this close to killing her. She was mere moments away from ending the Banshee, yet Elune denied her the kill. Many have attributed this to plot armor, that Sylvanas cannot die as she is set to appear as the final boss of the entire patch. And I won't argue against this. If you want to look at it from behind the scenes, yes, Sylvanas has plot armor until her boss fight. Then you can also argue the same thing for Tyrande, except her plot armor was in the form of Ysera. But hey, I'm not here to debate that. I'm simply here making this video to give a reason as to why this happened. Why did Elune take away Tyrande's power? What acceptable reason did she have other than plot armor? Because I think I found an answer, a reason as to why this duel ended the way it did that is relatively reasonable and acceptable using what's been already established in the lore. Now, I've already been over this answer in a thread on Twitter, but since I know many do not follow me over there, you should by the way, I decided to reiterate what I said here in more detail so we are all on the same page. So let's stop beating around the bush and just get right into it. Elune takes Tyrande's power, denying her the kill she's sought for just about 2 years. Why? Why did this happen? Well, I know many of you watched the cinematic on YouTube, since it was posted when the servers were just about going up, or were having issues loading you in from the sheer amount of people. Maybe because of this, you skipped the cinematic when it played during the battle for Ardenweald. And if you did that, well, I mean, I can't really blame you. Why watch something twice when you just watched it 25 minutes before you logged on? Sadly, if you did this, you missed something very, very important. When Sylvanas takes to the skies, Tyrande follows her, but before she does, she utters something in Darnasian. On YouTube, there are no subtitles for what she says, but in-game, there are. Tyrande says, "My life for hers."
It is time.
So like I pointed out on Twitter, in that moment, right then and there, Tyrande was ready to give in to the power of Elune and sacrifice herself to finally kill Sylvanas. But then Elune intervened. She stopped Tyrande and even stripped her of the abilities that would push her over the edge and cause her demise. Now I believe Elune did this for a multitude of reasons, but let's go with the what if. What if Sylvanas dies? Right here, right there, she is killed. The life is choked from her, or her neck is snapped, whichever you prefer. Well, firstly, Tyrande would die shortly afterwards, succumbing to the powers of the Night Warrior. And many would think that that's a fair trade-off, a life for a life, but a fair trade isn't always fair. For example, what happens when a person dies? What happens to a person's soul? Well, under normal circumstances, you would go before the Arbiter, but we aren't in normal circumstances, so instead you would go right to the Maul. So Sylvanas and Tyrande both go to the Maul, both having died. Now, maybe you're not aware of this, so let me fill you in. Sylvanas has allies in the Maul, and her soul, well, it just so happens on back to Torghast. And as it has been pointed out to me by a fairly cool guy, Sylvanas' Valkyr, the ones who made a pact with the Banshee and Edge of Night, are all present within the tower. So just like that, as she has done many times before, Sylvanas is returned to life, and we are right back at square one. Except this time, we're not only down a leader of the Alliance, but also a leader of the Night Elves, and it's all for nothing. To top all of that off, Elune also loses one of her greatest champions, and that champion just so happens to go to the Maul as well, which can be very bad, as Tyrande is a very powerful person. We do not want her soul used in the same way so many others have already been, or will be, in service to the jailer. So in that situation, everybody loses, except the one person we want so badly to lose. Now, as mysterious as Elune is, it isn't very difficult to reason that she might have weighed the same options I just pointed out and chose to intervene. After all, Elune is a literal deity, and she is always watching. And if I can reason a worse possible outcome than the one we got, I'm sure Elune can as well. Again, if she allows Tyrande her vengeance, her greatest asset succumbs to the powers within, and everyone loses, even Elune. And who knows, maybe Elune can see the future, and maybe she knows the fate of Sylvanas and knows that her time is running short. So with all that in mind, yes, there was a very, very good reason as to why Elune intervened, and it goes beyond more than plot armor. Hopefully, that reason is enough to shed a newer, better light on the culmination for the Battle of Ardenweald and put many complaints to bed. Ha, who am I kidding? That's not gonna happen. If you have any questions or comments about this video, Warcraft, or its lore, you can leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to read each and every one of them. Thanks for watching, and remember well.